Hey curl friends, it's me, NaturallySage. Welcome back to my channel. If y'all are new here, make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any natural hair content. I created this channel because I wanted to share my hair knowledge with you guys as well as spread hair positivity and hair love because I believe that all natural hair is good hair. So for today's video, I wanted to kind of share the guidelines of my 6-month protective style challenge that I'm going to be starting on February 1st, let me get it right, 2021. It's really hard. There's something about the 2s and the 1s that's messing up with my brain. I wanted to share a quick video on my guidelines and my routine and some of the steps I'm going to be taking throughout this process so you guys can follow it as well if you'd like. You can follow these guidelines as strictly or as loosely as you would like. These are just kind of rules that I've set for myself because whenever I set goals for myself, in order for me to actually follow them, I have to create rules or guidelines and kind of have a routine set. Otherwise, my plan just kind of like just implodes. So I created this for myself and I thought it would be really fun to share with you guys. And if you guys decide to do the challenge with me, that's great. Welcome. The reason why I wanted to do this challenge in the first place is because out of the 4 years that I've been natural, I feel like for the bulk of the time, I've been focusing on length. I can't wait until this hair can sit on my shoulders, and I can't wait until this hair now drops this way. I really want to change my perspective and hopefully help change some of your guys' perspectives, because I feel like in the natural hair community, it's always, not always, but oftentimes it's length over health. And I really want to kind of steer away from that. In the last year or so, I've learned a lot more about my hair porosity and about the actual composition of my hair, the thickness, the density, and what that actually means for me, which has really helped me take better care of my natural hair. And now that I'm equipped with all that information, I feel like I want to push myself just a little bit more, because if you guys watch my videos or you know me, you know that this is my hairstyle of choice. If I was choosing a fighter, it would always be the afro, you know? So I want to challenge myself for this protective style series because A, I don't do protective styles as often as I think that I should. And B, I've noticed that I have some sections of my hair, like right under here and around the back of my head, that just aren't as healthy as some of the other sections of my hair. And I think that it would help for me to protect my hair a little bit more throughout these colder months, because this Midwest stuff, y'all, this Midwest stuff is not good. It's not even February yet. I'm over it. So I want to give myself a nice break and really challenge myself to take better care of my hair. So got my little notebook here. Yellow is my favorite color, by the way. So at first I was going to call this a growth challenge because I will be doing a length check as well as kind of keeping track of the different sections of my hair and how it grows. But like I said before, I don't really want this to be about growing your hair. I just want this to be about retaining length and retaining healthy hairs. And especially because, in my opinion, when we're talking about hair positivity and hair love, I think that those conversations that we have within the natural hair community, talking about growing your hair faster, longer, and stronger, I think those actually create a barrier to hair love. Because if you have a certain texture of hair or a certain density or a certain combination, that could mean that you experience more shrinkage, which means that your hair could be growing long, strong, and healthy, but you can't tell because your hair is experiencing shrinkage. Because your hair, no matter what, is growing. The thing that is stopping your hair from getting longer in whichever which way your hair grows is the fact that it is breaking off and that you're not retaining that length because your hair is growing. So that's some good news. I did want to talk about hair growth within this challenge, but only as it pertains to yourself. I think in order to have a healthy relationship with your hair and the idea of it growing, you can set goals and milestones for yourself and you can kind of see how much your hair is growing. But try your best not to compare yourself to anybody else. And I like to talk about growth for this challenge in terms of like, you know, being my own competitor and comparing my growth to my growth. I think it's really important that if y'all embark on this challenge or you see other people doing something like this, that you don't compare your hair in any way to somebody else's hair. The way it looks, feels, acts, performs, anything. Any of those things, just don't do it, okay? Some people are gonna see more growth than other people, and it's just gonna be different for everybody. So just compete with yourself. Keep a hair journal. I'm going to be trying my absolute best to write in my hair journal at least 3 times a week, preferably every day. I think that is actually a really good way that you can keep up with your hair goals and how you can kind of like keep tracking that progress, because sometimes it feels like no matter what, your hair is just not growing. That's why you gotta keep that journal. Keep lots of photos, because when you look back a couple months ago, you realize like, oh, I got growth just a little bit, but I got growth. It's there. You can do this challenge as long as you'd like or as short as you would like. I am going to attempt, I'm going to give it my best shot to do this challenge for an entire 6 months. My plan in terms of routine for this challenge are daily. I'm going to try my best to journal and just kind of assess my hair, whether it's feeling it, looking at it, just checking out what we have going on, if we have any hairs pulling, anything like that, as well as every day making sure that I'm wrapping my hair up in a satin scarf or sleeping on my satin pillowcase. As for weekly, I am going to be oiling my scalp on a weekly basis. I'm going to be trying a couple different oils here because my scalp likes tea tree oil, avocado oil, jojoba oil. So we're going to kind of play around there and see how that goes, because I haven't done a protective style for an extended period of time where I actually oil my scalp. I usually just have the style installed and then kind of just go because it's my break time, you know? The goal is really to actually take care of my hair during the style, because I do a good job before and after, but that during, I don't really do much. So we went through daily, weekly, and bi-weekly. Every 2 weeks, I'm going to be taking my protective style down, clarifying my hair, deep conditioning my hair, moisturizing my hair, and reinstalling a protective style. I'm going to do my absolute best to switch up the protective styles so we can change up the way the parting is going, and we can kind of change which hair is under tension and which hair is not. The first protective style that I'm going to start with are some mini twists, because who doesn't love a good old set of mini twists, right? So that's going to be my first style. That is the style that my hair likes the most. If you don't have the time to write down all this information, don't you worry. I'm going to have all this information nice and clean put on my website at www.naturallysage.com, as well as on my Instagram, which is at naturallysage_. So go ahead and check those out. Give me a follow, give me a like, you know, all that good stuff. Rules and guidelines. Like I said before, these rules and guidelines are, I was just trying to casually lower my chair, but it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So for these rules and guidelines, these aren't things that you have to strictly follow, but to each his own. So the first rule, and if you don't follow any other rule other than this first rule, I can make peace with that. First rule is no heat. Do not put any heat on your hair. So if you want to blow your hair out for protective style, do not use heat. That's right. Do not use heat for this entire 6 months, unless it's in the form of steaming your hair for deep condition or anything that has to do with deep conditioning and a little bit of heat. Okay? Next guideline is go easy on the protective styles that have the feed-in hair. While your hair is mostly protected in those types of styles, it can weigh your hair down. I mean, I know y'all feel like that feeling in your neck when you first get braids for a second. Like it just feels heavy. that feed-in hair is kind of heavy to be pulling on your natural hair. So if you decide, hey, I want to do a feed-in style, I want knotless braids for this month, you're choosing your next protective style, just be mindful and try to pick something that's a little bit easier on your hair, something like flat twist or something like regular 2-strand twists. The next two things kind of go together, and I know these don't have to do with hair, but it's really important that you nourish your body and you move your body. Nourishing your body with water and healthy nutrients is going to be really good for your scalp health and those hair follicles. It's going to help aid in your natural hair growth. And moving your body is just good for serotonin. We need that these days. I got to be happy in order to install protective styles, right? When your body isn't properly nourished, that can trigger hair loss. I'm not saying that that is the only factor or the only reason, but it's just something that we should prevent if we can. So make sure that you nourish your body, make sure that you move your body as much as possible. And by move your body, I don't necessarily mean you have to do an hour workout. I'm just talking about if you're working at home, take a 10-minute walk. Go outside, take a breather, be mindful, reconnect with your body, reconnect with yourself, and really take some time to take some deep breaths and to decompress. Even if you guys aren't interested in doing this protective style challenge with me, you can always create your own routine and just try and stick to that for 2 or 3 months at a time. I would love for this to spark some inspiration for you to set your own natural hair goals, whether that be a protective style challenge, health, length, whatever it is that you have for yourself. Set some goals, set some clear guidelines and a routine that you can follow so you know what you're supposed to be doing. And I hope you guys reach all of your hair goals in 2021. And just so you guys know, my DMs on Instagram are open. I love answering natural hair questions and I love engaging with you guys. So if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. You can also leave a comment down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'm NaturallySage. That was supposed to be a lot cuter and smoother, and it wasn't.